In this short video tutorial, I will show you how to make a box and whisker plot in Tableau. The reason for doing this is that while it is really easy to make box and whisker plots in Excel 2016, it is quite challenging to make them in Excel 2013, and I know a lot of people in class are still using 2013. So for the purposes of my class, we will make box and whisker plots in Tableau. If you look on your Learning Suite schedule, you should see a data set called Bike Buyers Dataset. So on October 26th. Go ahead and download this data set, and I'm going to go ahead and open up Tableau and connect to that data set. So I want to connect to an Excel file, and wherever you saved it, just open up that Excel file. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got a lot of dimensions for individuals that either purchased or did not purchase a bike. So we've got whether or not they're married, their gender, the level of education they achieved, occupation, whether or not they own a home, their commute distance, and their region. We also have some continuous data on them, or measures, including income, the number of children they have, the number of cars they own, and their age. So looking at this data set, it might occur to you, or hopefully should occur to you, that maybe we can use this data and whether or not they purchased a bike to try and determine what it is about the individuals that make them more or less likely to purchase a bike. And that's what we'll be talking about in the next few classes when we discuss regression. But for now, what we want to see are some what are called descriptive statistics. So in the form of a box and whisker plot. So let's go ahead and I'll explain what that means in a second. So let's click on the first sheet. Got our dimensions on the top, measures on the bottom. Let's say we want to look at age. So let's go ahead and pull age up into rows. So you see it gives us the sum of age. So the sum of age is 44,190. Is that useful information? Well, not really. I think we'd rather see the individual ages as points that we have in the data set. So in order to do this, we can't do it from the drop down. What we need to do is go up to Analysis. That's important, so remember this. It says Aggregate Measures. So we do not want to aggregate this measure. We don't want the sum of age. We just want to see all the individual data points of the ages of the people in the data set. So go ahead and uncheck that. And you see we get each circle represents a person in the data set and their age. So we see we've got the youngest person in the set was 25 and the oldest person was 89. So at this point we can actually, if you go to Show Me, we can go ahead and click on the box and whisker plot. And because we've disaggregated the data, we now have this nice plot. So which includes the following. So here we have our box. And here we have our whiskers. Very, very cute. So the box includes an upper box and a lower box. This line in the middle is the median of the age in this case. So 50% of people had ages greater than 43, and the other half of the people were younger than 43. Similarly, so the upper and lower quartile divide the data into fourths. So the median cuts it in half. The first quartile represents, so this line here at the age of 35, 25% of the people in the data set were younger than 35. And similarly, for the upper quartile, 25% of the people in the data set were older than 52. So the purpose of this plot is to give us some descriptive statistics, some idea of what's going on in the data set. We also have our what's called the, this is the upper whisker, this part here, and the lower whisker. And then we have what's called the upper fender and the lower fender. And so these are important because they define the point at which we start to have outliers in the data set. So we don't have any lower outliers, anybody younger than the age 25, but we do have 3 outliers here. So at the age of 89, 80, and someone who was 78. So now that we've got this, let's do one other thing. Let's go ahead and drag purchased bike into columns. So now we've just broken up the people in the data set into whether or not they've purchased or they have not purchased a bike. And we get to see what the median and all of the other statistics that I was mentioning before are for both sets. So for example, the median for those who purchased a bike, the age was 41. And the median for those who did not purchase a bike was 44. So it looks like people were a little bit older that didn't purchase a bike. What else can we see from this? We see that we have a few outliers for people who did purchase a bicycle. Our upper fender lies at the age of 70, and we've got 4 outliers here. And we have 1 outlier who did not purchase a bike at the age of 89. So this concludes the discussion of how to create a box and whisker plot in Tableau, and sort of some of the descriptive statistics that you can see. One of the most important things to remember is that you will need to disaggregate the data when you want to see it. So similarly, I'll just swap this out really quick. I'm going to pull age back down, and I'm going to pull income in. And click on the box and whisker again. So now we have a box and whisker for income. And again, the data is disaggregated. I don't have the sum of income. I have each individual data point for earnings. All right, and we'll talk more about this in class.